as I wait for the slowest laptop in the world to reboot up.
Mr. IT guy, I don't understand that.
I don't have anything to do with how slow the laptop is booting up.
Fix it. Can't you fix it? Can't you take it all the way apart?
Anyway, we're live now, so stop talking trash. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another week, another day at this point of Access Granted. It's your boy, Mr. Antoine.
Oh, and it's Nina, the original party girl.
Why do you always pause there, yo? Like,
because I'll be listening to you like I'm watching the show. I forget I'm actually in it. I thought I was just checking out my homeboy, you know. I was like, oh yeah, I'm in here. Hi everybody, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. As I try to get my other laptop to boot up, I don't like this one because this one has a lag. First and foremost, man, I had a t-shirt in mind that I was going to rock today, something a little bit different. But I decided to hit these guys with another Walbrook t-shirt for two reasons. First and foremost, rest in peace to my man, Frankie Duckett. He was laid to rest today. Had the opportunity to go to the viewing yesterday, and it was a great turnout of the Walbrook family. So I was honored to be there and to be able to pay my respects. The funeral today was private, so I respected the wishes and didn't go. But actually on this past Monday, we actually lost another member of the Walbrook Warrior family, my man Mike Jermaine Porter. And it's kind of ironic because he played basketball with Frankie at Walbrook and actually spoke at Frankie's candlelight vigil last Thursday. And so for him to pop up, on this Wednesday and pass of apparently what we understand was a heart attack at the age of 48, it just really, it just really touched home. So I don't know if you've been on my Facebook page for the last couple of days, but I've really just been trying to show some love to our people because the Walbrook family is so tight knit. You know what I'm saying? We really, like, I know a lot of other schools get together and do different things, but we really, Walbrook is really like a tight knit family. Like we're really like cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff. And to be hit twice like that, in such a short period of time with two guys that were really just, super amazing, awesome guys, it really kind of touched home. So I had to dig it out and pull out another Walbrook shirt today. Just to represent my family, man. And all we can do is hold our head, keep the families in prayer, and unfortunately this stuff happens during a time when it's a pandemic and we can't really all get together like we usually do. But we're together in spirit, and I think right now that's the main thing that matters. There's been a whole lot of I love yous, and unfortunately sometimes we don't give those words, of endearment unless it's a time like this. You know what I mean? So, shouts out to my Walbrook family, man, and rest in peace to the families of the two warriors that we lost, recently. Sad. And it's crazy because today, as I was coming from work, I was going to get me some breakfast and I was on Moravia Road and I passed the murder scene of Frankie Duckett. I passed the apartment complex that he was murdered in. And then as I got to the next light and made the right turn on Bel Air Road, I'm going up the street and I stop at a red light and I'm literally right behind a MTA mobility van, which is what he was driving at the time that he was murdered. And I was just like, wow, that's like, that like kind of blew my mind for like 30 seconds. And I was like, man, this is crazy. But again, man, shout out to everybody, and, we made a pact that as soon as this pandemic stuff is over and we can get back to some sense of normalcy, we're going to shut Baltimore City down, man. We're going to have us a Walbrook weekend or something where we just going to get together and show love and fellowship and, eat. We might have to put I heard it's this young lady named Nina, the original party girl, that like really puts together great events. So we may have to call upon Nina for her services.
You're like a wildcat with the warriors.
Yeah, I mean, because we carry the sword, so we'll stab the cats. That don't matter.
Yeah.
we carry the sword, so we're not scared of wildcats. But yeah, we might have to utilize your services because you're great at what you do. So, and you know, if I didn't like what you did, I wouldn't, you know. So yeah, we might have to when the time comes. And the funny thing about it is well, a couple of us decided yesterday that whatever it is, there has to be some kind of house music involved because you know that, you know, house music makes the world go round. And we have a guest coming up that I found out likes to dance. So I'm hoping that she's a house head and maybe she can get on here and tell us some of the stuff that she likes. And I see her in the green room kind of smiling. So she might actually be a house head in disguise.
She might know what that is. She might know what that is.
Oh, I'm sure she does. I'm sure she's from Chicago.
There it is.
She's from Chicago. So
she might know more than we know.
That's like being from Baltimore or being from Maryland. You have to know what crabs are. You know, you have to know, you know. Yes, you do, Nina. All of that good stuff. So as I'm setting up this other laptop, what's going on with you, sis?
Oh, well, extra light and love to you, the family members of the ones that that Walbrook has lost. And y'all party big normally. So, you know, exactly. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of collaboration that could be. Yeah. We are today is Thursday, which means we are Thursday, Friday, 3 days from Valentine's Day. And that's for like regular people that need reminders to tell people that they love them and show them in different creative and unique ways. Of course, you don't have to do this one day a year. Valentine's Day does not have to represent the relationship that you have between yourself and your mate. You love so many other people. I mean, you could do something small for them. Sometimes a phone call, this segue leads into our elderly population. Sometimes a phone call can make all the difference in the world. It's nothing like being lonely. And with these quarantine situations, people are secluded. So
don't stop talking. Don't stop talking.
Pick up the phone and reach out to an elderly person that you know or love. And it doesn't have to be an elderly person that belongs to you. It could be one of your friends' people. Like, a lot of people don't have the support system that you may have. So think about these people out here in the world that your voice is a gift in itself. On that note, happy snow, snow, snow. Here in Baltimore, Maryland, we are out about under 5 inches of snow. I think that was the accumulation that we've gotten. We are expecting more. So to you and yours, please be safe. When travel safely, that means slow down, put on your blinkers, navigate accordingly. People are driving slow. Try to limit how many fast reactions that you have to have on snow and ice so that everybody stays safe and warm. This is also wintertime. It's a good time to have your emergency winter kit in your car. Make sure you have an extra blanket, maybe a small shovel in case you get stuck, maybe some kind of rock salt in case you get stuck. But have some things in your car so that if you're in an event of some sort of emergency, you have some things that can help you until help arrives. Oh, we have Mr. Antoine back.
I like the way you carried that on until I got back.
I was like, what? You said don't stop talking? Oh, I can do that. I can do that.
But speaking of that, we have some more snow coming, correct?
Right. Sunday?
It might be before then.
Well, you know, that's why it's weather. It could be tomorrow. I don't know.
It could be a foot of snow out there right now. And, you know.
And you would still be all right because you what? Like 7 feet 12?
That has nothing to do with it. I'm going to be all right because I'm home.
Oh, with your snow festivities. We had a snowball fight today at work. Like another reminder. It's stuff you can do. If you feel like you're gonna stay in the house and be on quarantine, that is your choice, your prerogative. So it's other things you can do. That's like right outside your door. You need that vitamin C. You need that sunlight, that vitamin D. So it's a good time to go have a snowball fight. This is the first one I've had since my daughter was an adult. So we had a blast and your heart was beating and we're outside and we're laughing. All the things to lift your morale.
Invite me to the next one. Beat downs are happening. That's all I gotta say.
I don't like boys. Y'all play too rough. Y'all be like doing the snowballs all like no.
It's only gonna be a couple of them in the back of the head. I'm not gonna play too rough. I promise you.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
But thanks everybody that's tuned in with us so far on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We always definitely appreciate the love. And I don't know why people are trying to call me while they know I'm online, but that's another conversation for another day. But without further ado, we have a special guest in the building tonight. I'm not even gonna say everything she does because Nina has this thing where she likes to let people come up and introduce themselves, and I think that that's really dope. So I'm gonna kind of let that idea go, but we really appreciate her taking some time to come and hang out with us tonight. Really busy schedule, I'm sure she has, and you know, stuff that she has going on in life. But I had someone hit me up on Facebook earlier today when I shared the post, and they were like, "Man, I had a really big crush on her back in the day." So
yeah, I heard that too.
So I'm hoping that he's tuned in, because if he's tuned in, I might be nice and bring him on live and let him tell her personally how much he used to crush her back in the day. But we have
better not be creepy.
No, he's not. I wouldn't bring creepy people on. No.
All right, now I got you, Cynda.
I wouldn't put out there like that. So we have in the building with us tonight, Miss Cynda Williams. How are you doing?
I am very well. Thank you for having me. Thank you. I'm trying to find an angle. This phone is weird. It's like I gotta hold it a funny way to be like in the middle, whatever. But I'm glad to be here.
You know what, Cynda? You don't have a bad side, so the angle that we get, it doesn't matter at all. How is everything going with you?
Everything is all right. Just dealing with life, and my mom is transitioning, so I'm not at home right now. I rushed to be with my mom today, but she's lived a good life, and so I just wanted to be with her at the end. But I'm
You
so
know
glad
what?
that you sent me a message, because honestly, my mind wasn't anywhere on tonight. I totally forgot. If you hadn't sent a message, I guess you would have called me. But anyway, I'm glad to be here. Takes my mind off of that.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate circumstances, and I just thank God that for first of all, able to get to your mom before she transitioned over, and that you still, found it not robbery to come and spend a little bit of time with us tonight. I was gonna keep you for like 4 hours, but not really. So Nina, my co-host Nina, the original party girl, she likes to do this thing because she doesn't know as much about people as I do for some reason. She kind of lives under a rock. So she likes for us to allow our guests to introduce themselves and kind of like fill in the blanks. So to those that don't know you, tell everyone who you are, what you do, etc., etc.
Okay, well, most people know me for my early films. I started doing movies 31 years ago. My first movie was Mo Better Blues with Spike Lee.
That's a heck of a first
And
movie, man. Jeez.
yeah, I was very fortunate. Not soon after I moved to New York from Indiana, I got that job, and I was able to sing Harlem Blues, which a lot of people connect to and still love to this day.
Transitioned over, and that you still.
And that just kind of started the career in movies. I actually had no intention of doing movies, didn't even know nothing about it. Was a musical theater girl, stage and all of singing. And so this took my life in a different direction, and I was blessed to be able to work with some wonderful people. And I continue to do my singing, although I never released anything. I had a record deal, ended up that didn't work out because they kind of wanted me to be Clark, the character in the movie, instead of who I am. So it was hard to get away from Clark, and it's still hard. People still calling me that.
30-something years later.
Yeah, it's 31 years later. People still call me Clark, but they really connected to that film, and I understand why. It was a great storytelling and wonderful music, wonderful actors. It was a good thing, and but I also did Dorothy Dandridge, which is on HBO Max. I keep getting a call, and everybody's telling me that's now with Halle Berry. Played her sister in that. Did another movie with her, The Wedding. Um, a movie a lot of people know is called One False Move. That was very well received, and I've done quite a bit since then. Took
So
a break. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, so it's kind of ironic that you say people still relate to you to the Mo Better Blues, and I think there are a lot of actors and actresses who kind of have that one symbolic role. Like Mike Epps to this day still says people see him and they call him Day Day just
Right.
because of
Hmm.
his role. And
Hmm.
it's not a bad thing, but I think sometimes it's to the point where you get so stuck on that one or two movies, that one role, that you
Hmm.
kind of forget about the body of work that people have really put in. And like, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I think I told you this when we were DMing each other on Instagram. I've never watched Mo Better Blues in its entirety.
Hmm.
You know,
I
Hmm.
watched it like a whole lot. A whole
there's
lot.
like there's like a lot of movies that I've never watched in its entirety. That if I gave the list, I would probably lose my black card. Because I
Hmm.
tell
Yeah.
people I've never seen what's Oprah Winfrey, her movie from back in the day, The Color Purple.
Purple,
I've never
color
watched that
purple.
movie. You know what I'm saying? But my introduction to you was one of the weirdest movies that I've ever seen in my life, with 10,000 plot twists, because I'm a Bokeem Woodbine fan.
Oh, Connor.
And I don't remember the first time I saw that movie, but I remember I was scrolling through something and I was like, okay, here's my boy, and it's a movie that I've never seen. Let me watch this. And by the time I finished that movie, man, I was just sitting there like, what the heck just happened? How in the world how did that role come about for you?
Well, the guy who wrote and directed that movie, his name was Darren Scott. He was known at that point as a writer. He wrote a lot of very well-known movies that I can't remember right now, but they're big. And they wanted to give him his shot to direct. So this was his first film. And I guess when he wrote the script, when he was describing the character, he put in parens someone like Cynda Williams.
Oh, wow.
So when the people that were the studio saw that, they were like, well, why don't we see if we can get her? And so they found me, and I met with him, and it was a great meeting. And he offered me the role on the spot. And actually, I was cast before anyone else in that movie, and I was a part of the casting process. Didn't Bokeem was one of. It came down to one of three people. He was one of three people. I was surprised they went with him because it was a completely different. He made the movie very different than it would have been with some of the other actors that they were considering, who were very well known at the time. But he brought a quirkiness and a strange vibe to the role that I think that they vibed with.
And
And he was real. He was cool, so it worked
Nina,
out.
if you've never seen this movie Caught Up, go and check it out. Or well, you can probably just pull it up on something now, and I'm sure you can find it.
Right.
Hmm.
The plot turns and the twists and those oh my god, I didn't think this was going to happen moments. There's definitely a lot of them in that movie, and you did a great job, by the way, too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
you did
have only, I've only most of the stuff that I do. I only watch it the one time. I watch it to see what it is, see if it embarrasses me or not, and if it doesn't, then I'll do publicity for it. This one, it turned out a little different than I expected, but I had a blast doing it. It was the best experience up to that point that I had. Honestly, with a black male director, he was so kind to me, and he was really cool. So I was glad for the experience. Really glad.
So you said
So,
that
Hmm.
Mo Better
Hmm.
Blues was your first movie. Was there
Yes.
any other film or television project before that?
Nothing. No, that was my
So how
first.
did you get there? How did that happen?
I well, I had been preparing for something like this for my whole life. I was in plays and musicals. I was constantly singing, constantly working, and but in the Midwest, Chicago, not really. I moved to Indiana by the time I started high school and went to school there and went to college there, graduated with a theater degree because at that point they didn't have a musical theater degree, and moved to New York expecting to do Broadway. And I got a job like you had to do back, you still have to do if you want to live and afford to live in Manhattan. I got a job working in a restaurant and was a hostess, and all these people kept coming to me and they were saying, "You really need to audition for Spike Lee's new movie." And by then I had seen School Days. Do the Right Thing had not come out yet when they were talking to me about this. So I'd seen School Days and I was like, well, I kind of was interested in that. That was a musical, maybe, and this is supposed to have music in it too. So yeah, I'm gonna check it out. So I got the information and I went to the casting offices where I knew they were casting because I didn't know the process. I didn't know how you did it. I didn't have an agent. I didn't have a lawyer. I had no representation. Only person representing me was me. So I just took my horrible headshots and my theater driven resume and showed up. And because I waited for hours to see Robbie Reed, who was the casting director, and other casting directors were so impressed with that, they encouraged her to give me a shot.
Hmm.
So that was the beginning of that. And I auditioned for maybe 6 times in 6 weeks, and I got it. So it was an unexpected blessing, but I wasn't surprised because, like I said, I had been preparing for something. I just didn't know what.
You
I
thought
I
it would be more singer based? Is that what you thought growing
I
up?
yeah, singer first. I was always a singer first, and
Got
but I loved acting, but I was a little afraid of it at that point because I had done more singing than anything. Like I said, musical theater. So I sang in theater that way, but not straight acting. But my life took me into just pretty much acting. Like I said, I never stopped singing, but I was singing in clubs and stuff like that. I sang in several movies, but I didn't really like the world. I didn't like the darkness of music business. And I was not a socialite. I was not a party girl. Believe it or not, I was very shy and a church girl. So that whole movie was really hardcore for me.
mm.
But when I asked my grandfather, who was my pastor, about doing it, he was like, "Is it gratuitous?" I said, "No, I think it drives the movie. I think the sexuality is a part of it."
Right.
So he said, "Well, then if you want to be an actress, then act." So that's why I did.
So did
That's
you
why.
get more roles offered to you because it was that type of movie? Or I know that the Caught Up is totally opposite from that. Did
Hmm.
and people sticking you in that Clark role, were
Hmm.
those the type of offers that you were getting?
In the very beginning of my career, well, first of all, I didn't work right away after Mo Betters. I got one false move pretty quickly, but that had nothing to do with Mo Better. That had everything to do with my auditions for it.
God.
It was pretty intensive auditions in that movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it is very different. It is like nothing I've ever done. It's probably the best or the definitely the most respected film I've ever been in. But I got it from auditions, not because they saw Mo Better, because Mo Better hadn't come out yet.
Gotcha.
So, so I got that. So that opened up different kind of roles for me. But the sexuality stuff, that was here to stay for quite some time.
Gotcha.
Because because of the look, my look, and
Hmm.
because of the sexuality in all those movies, it just stuck for a while. It took a while for people to trust me enough to see if I could really act.
If she's smart.
Um, mhm,
Hmm.
mhm,
So
yeah,
okay, so you're beautiful without taking away, and you have roles of being sexual or sensual. That was your look
mm,
on stage. Is that the
right.
opposite of who you really are? I did hear
I,
church, granddaddy.
abs- Absolutely, I didn't. I had no idea what sexuality meant. I mean, literally, I was a virgin. Okay, I was the way
Exclusive.
I. Hmm?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Exclusive.
I was acting. I was acting, okay? I didn't know nothing about it. I was a good church girl. Not to say that other girls that find their sexuality earlier are bad. I just was raised that way. And
Very
so
good.
I was acting. And unfortunately the way I found my way to sexuality was a very negative way, you know.
That's the
So
industry, correct?
that's the industry. That is the industry. So, but it stuck, and I'm a good actress, so I could pretend like I knew what I was doing. And it's so hilarious because people make such assumptions about who I am
Hmm.
based on that. And I really am. I mean, I studied hard. I was all into the books. I love school. I'm a writer, all these things,
I think
but
I think people forget sometimes that it's called acting,
She was an
hmm
actress for real.
that,
She was acting.
hmm
and that yeah, that you are actually like you're reading and memorizing a script of a character, and this
hmm
doesn't have any bearing on who you are as a person.
You
Yeah, it is amazing how many times I've had people come up to me thinking I'm the characters that I played.
right.
That truly happens. And I remember in one experience where can I tell that story? I have to be
Yes,
careful of some things
yes.
because
So you can tell.
some of the things that happen to me are things that are dealing with people that other people know quite well. So I'm very
Yeah.
hesitant to out folks. But let's just let's just say that I had to constantly remind people that I'm an actress. I
That you're
am an actress. I trained actress. I'm not playing myself. I'm playing someone else.
right, right.
So
So get
you
out my
know
face. Right.
exactly,
Exactly. I'm not
exactly.
here for that. I'm here to act.
hmm
I made a
hmm
rhyme. Gotcha.
Right,
Gotcha. So,
right.
I don't know if we've talked about all the commas. I mean, after the commas. So I have you down
hmm
for an actress,
hmm
a singer,
Yes,
a
right.
producer. Does producer come more in on your music side, your broadcast side? What kind of producer I would say?
Well, it depends on the project. Lately, I've been I'm a writer and I'm good at writing screenplays. So I'll often come in and help develop scripts and they give me producer credit. A lot of people don't really know what the producer means when it comes to movies because there's different kinds of producers. There's your producers that are behind the scenes and developing everything. They have an idea about casting. They have an idea about what the story is, what the script is, what kind of direction you want to go with the visuals, what kind of sound you want to go with. That is more the type of producer I am. I'll help people develop. So they'll come to me and they say, "You want to be in my movie?" And then I'll look at it and I'll say, "Well, I can't be involved with this project as it is. If you can tighten up the script, if you can do this, you do it." And then invariably they'll say, "Well, can you help me do that?" And so I do. And and then I help them, like I said, on all the developmental things or other developmental aspects, and so that way I am producer. Then you got your folks that come in that just got money. They got ways to get money. Those are more executive producer roles. They
Mhm.
can, and then you got people that they can't afford to pay the fee that they usually get. So they'll give them a producer credit. So down the road,
They
if the
get paid
movie
in
makes
big.
money, then that's when they get paid because they're on there as a producer. So so yeah, mainly on films, but when it comes to my own projects, um like you said, the broadcasting, I am doing the radio, I'm doing podcasting. I have a producer that I work with for the technical side, but I do again the developmental creative side. I format the shows, I do the research, I find the guests. Um,
You sound like me.
I yeah, so I am that is the other way that I'm a producer. And it's funny because I would have never thought that I would end up doing that because I really enjoyed just, in front of the camera, do your thing. But nowadays I'm having so much fun creating, and organizing and putting pieces together and putting other people out there in front. I guess that happens with maturity. I'm writing many scripts, and most people say, well, you have to be in it. And so I'll write a little role for myself,
Okay.
little,
Little
you
feeling.
know, just a little role. So I'm pitching a few things that, I have a couple of producers I'm working with that are working on one of my screenplays. I have another producer I'm working with on another one. Um, so it's
So
fun.
just to go back to your radio piece and your podcast piece, it
Mhm.
is Pink Panties production.
No, actually, it's a brand. Pink Panty
Okay.
Confessions was kind of like a
Confession.
brand. Yeah,
Okay.
Confessions. It came from an experience that I had almost 15 years ago, where I had a big part. It wasn't big. It was an intimate party, and I used to have pink panties in my little celebrations. I like vodka and pink lemonade. And so my friends and I, we all were together on a yacht, and we started having these really deep conversations while we drink pink panties. And when at one point we finished talking, it was like we were all circled up and didn't try to do that, it just happened. And we literally talked and cried and laughed and had all this emotional roller coaster happen between the seven of us. And I said, Pink Penny Confessions. And somebody's like, that's a book. And somebody's like, that's a movie. That's a this, that's a that. I was
Yeah,
like, yeah.
that's the
I said,
HBO.
yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to do. And so I've been building on this brand for years. But it's gotten to the point where I changed the name. I just used the PPC for the radio and podcast because it's self help. I wrote a book. The book is called Pink Penny Confessions, and it's a self help memoir. And I have a large male following. I want to have a large female following because I love both, right? But I like hanging with women and talking and whatever. But it's the men that have supported me.
Pretty
So
girl
they're
problems. Pretty girl problems.
right. So I'll accept that. And so they I think in America we tend to go one way or another. Either we're prudes or we're perverts, right? There's not a
Right.
whole lot of in between.
Right. Right.
So I had people that weren't listening in because they assumed it was some sex thing and they're children of God. And then I had the other side that was looking in and saying, wait a minute, what is this? Where's the booty? What you talking about? Where's the
Where's her
draws?
pink panties? Right.
Right, exactly. So I had to, and I had this guy who I really respected. I mean, I totally respected this guy as a writer and just a brilliant man. And he wrote me a note and he said, I really want to listen to your podcast, but I don't think it's for me. I think it might be for women, right? And I said, is that based on the title? He said, yes. I said, no, it's for everyone. It's just for people. And I explained to him the whole thing. And that was when I decided, you know what, I'm going to make a PPC and
Change
be
it.
done with it. You know, it's abstract. Nobody knows what that means. And if they ask me, you know, I might tell them, I might not. And, you know, whatever my mood says. It's just my podcast. It's a self-help platform. I'm a hypnotherapist. I ended up getting a hypnotherapist degree because, or license, because I was always the set shrink. Every project I did, everybody would come to me for advice, for guidance, and I started getting worn out and I felt like my blood was, you know, they were vampires, you know. So I needed to get some kind of expertise. So I went back to school and I didn't want to do the full, you know, psychologist thing. That took too much time. I wasn't trying to be a psychologist. I was trying to have skills so that when people come to me, I know what I'm talking about, not just instinctually, but skilled. And so I studied and I've studied a lot about self-help and psychological work and spiritual work. And so that's what the podcast and the radio show are dealing with. And right now, the radio show is right on time for people because everybody's going through it. You know,
Right.
everybody's having issues. This, you know, the COVID. You know, there's so much death. There's so much suffering, so much sickness that
Isolation.
isolation.
No, some of your voices, well, I don't know, like being a broadcaster, sometimes I'm surprised when I hear my voice somewhere else. And I'm like, wait a minute, is that me? So in
Hmm.
listening to some of your sessions, um, season 2, episode 5, maybe, your voice is very melodic. It's one almost, it's of a singer. I got the singer out of that, but it's very, very calming and hopeful. It gives you hope. So in listening to what I could listen to, because I usually do not research a guest,
Hmm.
like never, because I want to learn it like everybody else.
Right.
But I wanted to go there because you do have that broadcast piece. I'm like, okay, she's going to be using the language that we use. So I was kind of excited. So I got a little bit, and I know someone that you know. Okay, so we want to give a shout out to your radio team, your co-pilots. That is it Shelly Williams.
Shell Williams, yeah.
Shell Williams,
Hmm.
DJ Disco.
DJ Kid Disco.
Kid Disco,
Hmm.
and DJ Joe Storm. So he's like one of
Yeah.
your fans. So he was really Joe Storm, do. So we were really glad that he could help this hookup be this. He knows what I like. So you're kind of like a present for me. Thank you.
Oh.
Because it's girl power. I'm proud of you. You
I
know.
got me now too. Hold on,
Oh
man.
yeah. I forgot. So I kind of wore my pink and representing the PPC. That's what
Yeah, I love
I
it.
didn't know. If Twan wasn't on the show, I would have worn my panties because I pink panties, you know. But I didn't get permission for that. So I'm so glad you could be here with us.
Yeah, I'm
And
glad to be here.
I'm glad you could be here. Like really, really
I
glad you could
really
be here.
love Maryland. I
Oh, you
love
do?
it.
Why?
I do because
You
it's
do.
beautiful. It's
It
a
can be.
beautiful place. Where I've spent time, I have very close friends there. So if I need to just breathe, I come to Maryland. I
Mm-hmm.
come and
All
just
right,
look at
so
all the green and I like the people.
time out.
Yes.
Time
I
out.
haven't been to
You're ready to talk about
Baltimore though.
crabs.
I've
So,
never been to Baltimore.
so this is what we're gonna do, Cynda, because I got your phone number, I got
Hmm.
your DM. I just sent you a friend request on Facebook, so I can hunt you down if I have to. If
Hmm.
you are ever in the Maryland area again, and Maryland, even though it looks small on the map, is actually pretty big. There's like
Hmm.
takes you about 4 or 5 hours to drive through the state. if you're ever in this area again and you hit us up, Nina will treat us all for seafood lunch.
All
He
right.
said
Well,
seafood. Don't that cost a lot?
Yeah, that's why I'm letting you treat.
Okay, I'll treat her.
well, you know what though? There's a job that I might be doing it. Well, I am doing in Philadelphia. So we've been talking about it. When I'm there,
Amen.
we were going to take a trip to New York, and we were talking about coming to Baltimore to see Storm. So the kid and I'm not sure if Shelly will have the time, but DJ Kid Disco and I were talking about traveling and coming, and that's like next month. So
Come
it might
through.
be
Come
sooner than
through.
you think.
Okay, definitely come
And
through.
and
What is
and
the interest? Go ahead, Twin.
hold on, Nina. I'm trying to
Go
rush
ahead.
because if for some reason you can't take that drive down to Maryland, to Baltimore, you're 90 minutes away if you're in Philly. Me and Nina will gas up the Pacer and we will come hang out. We honestly will.
All right.
Like,
Well, cool. Maybe you can bring Storm with you then.
and we'll bring Joe because somebody got to gas. I mean,
both of them in the car at the same time. Oh my. Okay. Yeah, we're coming. We're coming. What's the interesting fact about you? People don't really know, the you. Like, what's something you got any geek in there, any weirdo? What's an interesting fact?
Well, I am definitely a nerd and a geek.
A nerd.
I wrote a nerd. I wrote in my book Confessions of a Nerd. I'm a reader. I mean, I read everything, right? I love to learn. I'm a documentary girl.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just constantly consuming information, and I love it. And I'm also a nature girl. I like to be outside, even when it's with the snow and the cold. I walk every day.
We got some trails you can hike, and
Oh yeah. That's
of.
why I like it. That's why I love Maryland. When I go there, I feel so at peace. Between DC and Maryland, I feel like this is home for me. Really, I feel more at home in that part of the country than any other. If it wasn't for the fact that my family's in the Midwest, I might have moved there by now. I love it there. I feel at home. But I like to walk. I like to hang out in nature. I love water. So I'm very domestic. My born name is Cindy, Cindy, and so there's Cindy. There's two parts of me. There's the home girl, clean everything, cook up a storm, crochet, sew, all that stuff. That's Cindy. And then there's Cynda, the girl that goes out, can do the business, can handle a meeting, produce, act, sing, whatever, write, So I don't think everybody knows that unless they've read my stuff or listened to my podcast. They don't really know that I'm very domestic.
It's the Cindy part that we really want to get to know. But before we go any further, I want to do something that we've never done on this show. I told you have a lot of fans here, and I told you at the beginning that you had one particular guy that said that like he had a crush on you since he was old enough to spell Cynda. So usually don't do this, but I'm gonna bring this guy up here. Don't get scared now, bro. I see you in the back holding your head down.
Ain't nobody holding no head down, man. How you doing?
On, brother?
Hi.
How you doing?
Lucas, I'm fine. How are you? Nice to meet you.
This is that Extreme House Nation / Ghost Money songwriter from 2014.
Way back, man.
About that, bro.
Way back.
Hey, he's a singer too.
First of all, party girl.
Hey, what's up with you? Happy New Year and all that good stuff.
Happy New Year, Queen. Hey, Antoine, thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
No doubt.
Lady Williams, how you doing?
I am beautiful. Thank you so much.
Listen,
it's nice to meet you.
He been blushing all day.
Nah, listen. I just got on Facebook. He said Cynda Williams. I said, so what? Wait a minute. Holy. I was like, wait a minute. You actually going on? He said, yeah. All right. So I said I had to tune in, and he blessed me to come and say something to you. I remember a lot of people remember from Mo Better. I remember that too, of course. But I remember one where you were with Leon in a movie called Spirit Lost. Yeah. A lot of people don't remember that. So yeah.
No, that was a very interesting film.
Oh,
Yeah, to see the least. I'm like, okay, strange, but all right. You know, we support. I do appreciate it. I did not know. I knew that you sang Harlem Blues. Okay. I did not know that you sang and produced behind the scenes as well. And you that's the quiet money a lot of people don't know about. And so you didn't have to compromise, which I really respect. I didn't know that about you. And, you know, I remember when you were cutting up, what was it, The Source, or was it Vibe, the nighttime TV show where late night talk show with you. You happened to be on there with Terrence Howard.
Oh, and, yeah, I forgot that. Yes.
Yeah. He was in full Quentin mode. Okay, for y'all who don't know, he was on Quentin. He was playing the guitar. He was still flirting, doing his good thing. I said, okay, yeah, that's a part of you. There ain't in much of an act, but I really do appreciate it. Are you doing any type of movies still, or are you just laying back and saying, hey, you know what?
Come on, bro, you want our questions, yo?
Huh?
Our questions, bro. No.
My daughter she's now getting ready to be a sophomore in college. So now that she's doing her thing, COVID kind of set us back a little bit.
Of course.
But now that she's doing her thing, it leaves me time to do a lot more. So actually this year, in spite of COVID, I worked a lot. I think I was in 5 movies that I have that are coming out that are really good. I'm really excited about it. And they're all very, very different. Like one is a television show, and then I think it was 5 other movies where I played complete my roles. Now the roles are so much better. They're so much better than they were when I was young. They're meatier, and I'm very excited. I have this movie coming out in May. It's called Mad as Hell. I'm very excited. That's an action movie where I play a detective. And then I did a movie called Kings of LA that I'm not in it, but I'm not in it a lot, but I have a really nice role in it. I play the mother of the main character and South Central Mama.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I got a lot coming out. So if you watch my pages and stuff, you definitely see stuff when it's coming out. So yeah, I'm still working, but I'm being very picky though, because I really love radio, y'all. I love radio.
Right.
I love podcasting.
Okay.
So that's kind of where my heart is right now, and I write on my podcast. You know, I write it, so I'm doing a lot of writing. I have another book. Well, I'm in an anthology that's coming out, so I write. So the movies that I do have to be good. I'm not doing no crap no more. I've done enough crap. And I'm going now. I pick and choose. I'm saying no to things that don't have hope, that don't have meaningful characters. And I don't have to be like the main thing. I can have a small role in something and be happy with that. If it's something that says something that I want to be a part of, then yeah. But I'm not doing everything. That's not my be all to end all anymore.
That's very, and I'm glad that you, for lack of a better term, graduated towards that, because a lot of times people get stuck in roles and it's almost like they're in survival mode. I got to do this, and 30 years in, I got to take any role that comes to me. And I'm just glad that you have standards.
I've never been that. Even when I didn't have any money, I would say no. If it was something that we were talking about, some things that are gratuitous violence, gratuitous anything. I'm like, what's the point of this? Whatever I try to do, I try to be in something that's saying something. Now, I've made a couple of mistakes and was trying to help friends out and did some projects that I should have said no to. Because they were friends, I said yes, and then didn't do publicity for it and kind of tried to disappear because I
Okay.
didn't like what I saw. So every once in a while, you can't hit everything right. But I've always said no to things I got offered this film once. It was crazy. Literally every female was naked the whole movie. And not one of them had anything to say of any consequence. And this
What?
man was like, "I'm gonna give you this much money, and I'm gonna give you that," and I said, "No, thank you, sir." And he's like, "You got it like that? You're not gonna take all this money?" I said, "Absolutely, I got it like that, and it ain't got nothing to do with the movie. I'm not doing this.
I'm glad. Shoot.
It's a horrible depiction of women, So
Well, I'm glad you put that boundary and status out. I'm not gonna go too far, but I gotta ask this one question because Mo Better Blues, that was like the staple at one time, okay? And it's still a cult classic to this day.
Right.
You had Spike Lee, of course, directing, acting, almost like a one-man band of sorts. Did you think with all the cast that he gathered that it was going to be on that caliber of the cast to just be that memorable? I mean, you have movies like Harlem Nights where you just saw everybody come together, okay? That movie, Mo Better Blues, in my opinion, you had Sam Jackson before he was Samuel L. Jackson. Okay. You had Big Bill Nunn. You had Denzel Washington, Wesley Snipes before Blade, and I think before Jungle Fever. Did you really think in that company, everybody, and even Spike Lee's sister was in there, and, among others? I think it's Juan Carlo Esposito. He was in there as well. Did you think that it was going to be that much of a cult classic, or it was just, hey, we just getting together, we're going to make this film and go on?
Well, I was a movie illiterate before that film. I didn't watch that many movies because I was too busy acting on stage and doing my own thing, So I saw Denzel in a movie at that point, one movie, but I didn't know any of those people. Spike Lee had seen School Days, and She's Gotta Have It while I was in college. But they were just people. We were just a cast of folks that came together. I didn't know anybody was going to be a star, was a star. I didn't know that movie was going to be what it was. All I knew it was a job, and even though I didn't make that much comparatively to what I should have made, it was most money I'd ever made before, and I got to sing, I got to act, I got to wear some pretty clothes, and that's all I was thinking about. I was completely in the moment. I mean, I had no idea what and where that was going to go, and I'm glad I didn't. That wasn't on my mind, and I don't think it was on anyone's mind because we were all just really getting in there. We were all just really starting out. By then, Denzel had done Glory, but we didn't know how well it was going to be received. So we were all newbies. Giancarlo and Wesley had done a lot of Broadway. The musicians were quite well known. The jazz musicians that Branford Marsalis and all those guys, Terrence Blanchard, they were pretty big stars in the jazz world, but jazz is one thing, pop, and they weren't known by that many people yet. So we were all just beginning.
Okay. When you look back now, it's a lot of stars. I mean, even Robin Harris was in there. Rest in peace and rest in power. I mean, a lot of times we don't know when we're doing something or when people get together to do something, how big it was going to be. I didn't know if it was going to be something special or not, but that's it. I'm not going to take that thunder.
No. Thank you for the question.
Hey, Luke.
What's up?
Lunch, bro.
Huh?
You owe me and Nina lunch, bro.
I get you, man. Look, listen, I got to come back to Baltimore anyway.
Back to Baltimore?
Yeah, I moved to Northern Virginia.
Get out.
Yeah, and I'm doing some music down here now, and I live and everything. But I'll be back. You know.
Okay, I got a trick question, a setup question, because
For
you used to
who?
do like little song experts, you know, like for my special occasions and stuff. We have your crush. We have your crush on here. Can you spit a bar or two so she can see why we be doing what we be doing about you?
Okay. All right. So I'm not going to do your theme song because I don't have.
No, do your stuff. I like your stuff. Do your stuff.
I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna do a little Will Downing only because that's the mood I'm in right now. Oh Lord, here you go, Nina.
Don't mess up, bro. You got Cynda on. Don't mess up, bro.
Oh no, I ain't scared. Nobody's scared. All right. Good morning, lover, and how are you today? Holding you near means more than words can explain. Good morning, love. I'm patiently waiting for you to awake. And I'll wait as long as it takes to give you all my love. I'll give it to you. Yeah. That good morning, love. Oh, my love. Ooh, let's make love. That good morning, love. That's it.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yes, you. Oh man. Yeah. So Cynda, just in case, you know, so you come across something, that's John Lucas, right?
No, that's Joel.
Right,
that's Joel. But here's the thing. I do more music as far as
musician type stuff.
I'm keyboard player.
Hey, let's connect on Instagram. You never know, because I'm always looking for music. So you never know.
I got songs for days that's just waiting. Songs and you know, because right now, well, you can't see it, but I'm over here just a little bit. Just got a little something that I'm doing. So, and right now you're on the mixer board and all that stuff. I would do a tour, but that's not important. It's your live tonight. But
all right. But you know what's funny? I my podcast that's coming out tomorrow. It's called My Crush.
Look at that.
Every time you say that, it makes me laugh.
I mean, but that's what it is. See, these two right here, let me tell you something, Cynda. These two right here, always popping, but it's always positive. They always put on the spot, but they always never hate. They always lift up. And these are some good people. I've known them for a few years. So, yeah.
All right.
So,
that's where you got to be.
Come on.
So what's your IG? Because I don't believe in procrastinating. So, you know.
Cynda Williams on there.
Huh?
Cynda Williams.
Okay, I just have to make sure. You know, some of these, you know, some celebrities, they have some interesting handles.
They definitely wouldn't tell you on the whole thing here with the million people watching then.
Why wouldn't they? They want more followers. Why wouldn't they?
True. Checkmate.
Because when you pull up Cynda Williams on IG, there's a few of them that come up. So if you want me to just send you the correct one, Joe,
that would be. Listen, from one tall man to another, I salute you for that. Thank you.
That's from you, one taller man to the regular height guy, because you're about 7'9", bro. I'm not up there with you.
Nah, bring it down.
I feel like I'm no longer needed. Like we could just leave. He had great questions. He can sing. I can't sing. I mean, like, what do you need?
But you can party though. You can party though.
I'm the party. I forgot.
Yeah, you the party starter. You the life of the party. So there you go.
Hey, look, we appreciate you, bro.
Man,
thank you. It was so nice meeting you. Thank you.
Likewise, Lady Cynda, thank you for taking the time. Antoine, Nina, I love y'all.
And if y'all do something together, you know, we'll talk about royalties and all that stuff.
I'm gonna be a background dancer or something. I don't even need the royalties. I just want to be in the background somewhere.
Hey, Luke, we'll holler at you, bro.
All right, much love, y'all.
Bye-bye.
And that's because I actually haven't seen him physically since WPB Radio when he made the.
Oh no, I've seen him since then. But and that was the worst picture I ever took in my life between you two. That I look like an Oreo cookie, or I don't know. You two, and I'm all. I remember that.
You look like Danny DeVito on that picture.
Delete. Cynda.
So Cynda, I wanted to go back to just talk about the music a little bit, because you mentioned that you were actually, trying to do some things with music and things didn't work out because of other stuff that was going on. Can you just talk about that a little bit? Because I don't know for sure, because I've never heard you sing, but there's a rumor that you actually have a beautiful voice, and I might actually ask you to sing before the show.
Well, yeah, I had a record deal. There were a few reasons that things went awry. One was they wanted me to be Clark, and I'm not. And I didn't want to sing jazz. I just, that wasn't my style. Honestly, I knew a lot of different kind of music, and I studied a lot of music, but never jazz until that movie. And now I do. Now I sing a lot of jazz. And I enjoy it. But I was young, and I didn't want to sing jazz. I thought it was old people music.
So did I at one point.
Yeah, back then. And then I also had some dealings with somebody that was involved in the whole process that was angry with me about some things. So that didn't help anything. I wasn't somebody's girlfriend, so that I wouldn't do that. So that caused an issue. So they shelved my project, and I was fine with that. I just sang with my bands and performed all over, all over the place. And I performed all over, back then it was my music, was original music that I'd written with the bands that I was working with. And then now I do original stuff and a lot of jazz. I do standards and all that, because that's what people want from me. So I give them what they want.
So now that we're in this time where it's almost like the record companies, I won't say that they're obsolete, because they do still play a role, but so many artists, have this ability now to just kind of, roll independently, and where you can basically just like put out music all around the world with just a click of a button. Would you consider like doing a project at this point?
I was actually working with some producers on music. That's why I hooked up with the people in Philadelphia, because I was there, actually in Jersey, that part that's near Philadelphia. I was there recording music with some guys out of Jersey, and we recorded quite a bit. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to music. I gotta like the way it's gotta move me, and so I work with quite a few people, and I have some music that I have to put out. And when I come there next month, part of my time there is in the studio working. But I'm not desperate about it, you know what I mean? Because first of all, I can't do the live singing for a while that I was doing. I'm singing all the time, especially on the East Coast. In Maryland too, I was performing there. But I don't feel the urge to push myself that way like I do for broadcasting. I want to do that. It's fun for me, and I love to sing. I love it, but I don't really want to have to be going all over the place touring. And I'm a woman. I'm grown.
But if you operate as an independent artist, so to speak, like you don't have to do those things. Like I think part of the reason that Nina and I now enjoy doing this podcast from our home is because we don't have to be in locations that we used to have to be when we were both heavy into radio. So I would love to like hear some of the stuff that you're actually coming up with, and I know you need like 9,437,000 streams these days to make $1, but I think it would be awesome if you could, just share those other talents, because like when I was, like Nina said, we don't like to do too much research because we like to get to know our people organically.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was looking, just trying to find some information about you, everything just automatically went back to the movies. And I never had any idea that you did music. And, me as a fan of you from the music side or from the movie side, would love to just have the opportunity just to hear you, like we got a couple of jazz clubs in Baltimore. I can bring you in and, you know what I mean? Just to have the opportunity just to get, because at this point, you have artists that are doing it because they feel like this is the way that they feed their families. But then you have a lot of artists that just do it just for the love of the art. And I did that. That does it just for the love of the art.
I did that for many years. Yeah. I performed all over the place, and especially on the East Coast. And like I said, my close friends that are musicians, that's how I performed. There was a group called the West Group, WES. I would perform with them in Maryland, in DC, and all around there. And they're straight ahead jazz. They were straight ahead jazz. So I did a lot of performing with them and their original music. And, it's not something I can ever lose. I mean, both of my parents were very upset because that's what they thought I should be doing, singing. They were okay with the movies. They were like, that's cool. But what they loved was my voice and me singing. So I'll never, ever stop. I'm just not desperate. You know what I mean? I'm not desperate to do it. And when things open up again, I have a guy named Robert Mwamba that I perform with in New York City. And he wants to go back to Nigeria and do some international performances. So I'm never going to stop singing. I just am not like desperate to do it now. You know what I mean? Like I said,
you're very fortunate.
There, yes, I'm blessed. And when I come there next month,
right.
No, I don't have to. When I come there next month, I'm going to record a couple of new songs and finalize a song. I have a song that I have on my YouTube page, which is minuscule because I just have not had the time to put everything on there. But there's a song that I did with the West Group. It's called "The Journey Within." You might like that if you like jazz. It's a straight ahead jazz song, but it's a current one, and it was very meaningful. We did a little music video of "The Journey Within." It's on there.
Are you in the video?
Yeah, it's me. I'm singing.
Performance.
Yeah. I'm just. You don't see the band. Well, we did it. We actually did it right when COVID started. So the guy that wrote the song, he's also plays sax on it. So we filmed him at his home, and then we filmed me all around my little neighborhood, walking outside, and people really love the song. So
nice. I'll definitely check that out. What's next?
And it's what's next?
You can finish. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
You're so multi-talented.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. And it's just the difference between Harlem Blues, which if you ever got to the end of the movie, Mr. Anton, you would hear it. That's when I sang Harlem Blues. And just fast forward to that part.
That's why I know she's a singer, because of that.
Right. But my voice, I was young. I was 23 when I did that. It was a long time ago. And my voice I had a nice range and all of that, but I was young and I wasn't a grown woman yet. So that song, I sang it instinctually, but I did not know what I was singing about. Now, when I sing the song,
right.
Well, I was trained then. I had been in classical training for 7 years. But I mean, the interpretation of the song, the words, the lyrics, I wasn't, like I said, I was a little girl, so I really
Wasn't
didn't know anything about
experiencing
loving a
what you were
man.
thinking about, right?
Hmm.
Gotcha.
So
So if I
now
had are you tall?
I'm 5'7".
You tall?
Okay.
Okay. In the
Taller-
movie,
He's taller than
people
my
look
wife. That's for
larger
sure.
than what they are. Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm 5'7". Everybody used to think that Denzel was super tall because he was taller than me, but he was only about 5'10". Wesley is
Yeah.
about 5'10". But I was, and actually I've lost an inch. I was
All right.
5'8"
I
at that point.
feel
Hmm.
kind of big now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Denzel
Yeah.
and
I thought Denzel was taller than
Yeah, I
5'10".
definitely thought Denzel was taller. Yeah.
So, like, did you
Nope.
get starstruck at any time? I know that a lot of them, like Big Luke was saying, a lot of them weren't as big as they grew up to be. But like, you had an
Hmm.
all-star cast. Were you in awe or extra excited to be in the presence of anybody in your career,
I didn't know who they
celebrity
were.
wise? Well,
They
okay,
weren't celebrities to me.
to
You
you,
know, like I said, I did not watch movies. So I didn't know them, and they hadn't been around that long. They hadn't
God,
become the stars that they became. This movie kind of made them stars, or started them
exactly.
on that trajectory. Glory, Glory came out after we shot this. So when I met them, they were all like me, as far
Right.
as I knew. They were all young and just starting out, and I mean, they're a little older, but I I just looked at them as another cast that I was working with. And I had been working with a cast for, casts for years, all different kind of casts. It was always an ensemble thing. You work with people, you are your peers, you get the job done, you have fun if you can, and whatever. So at the time, I now, I support them all, most of them. I watch all their movies. The Turturro brothers were also in that. John Turturro, who did a million movies, Nicky Turturro. It was just so many people in that film, and I support all those people. I support their careers, and I watch their movies, and I'm very proud of them. Very proud of them. It was funny because I kind of, if you're like me, like I said, I'm not a party girl. So I didn't go to the parties. I didn't hang in the clubs. I didn't do none of that. So I didn't get to know people on that level. So usually when I do a movie after we see the premiere, I never see these people again.
Yeah.
Some of them were method actors. They were method actors, meaning they acted like their character.
Oh,
They were acting like their character. Well, their characters were not nice. So I really didn't get to know those guys very well because they were acting like their characters. Maybe about 5 years ago, I did a play in Los Angeles, and it was really good. And I was backstage um, after the show, greeting, family and friends that came. And this dude comes running in from off of the stage. He had entered from the stage, and I was freaked out. I was like, this is a crazy man. How in the world did he just run up on the stage and come backstage like this? Where is security? And I didn't understand where the security guards were and why they weren't handling this crazy black nutcase, right? He was nuts. Hair all over his head, hair all over his face. He just looked horrible. And then I heard his voice, and he comes running up to me, and I'm like, who is he? Not much scares me. I come from a strong patriarchal family, so I'm a strong woman, and I was about to knock him out. He comes up and he grabs me, and then he goes, Cynda, and I realized that it was Denzel.
oh, Was he in a role?
He was preparing for a role. He was
Gotcha.
preparing for the Western that he did, that last one. So his hair was all huge, and his facial hair everywhere, and I didn't recognize him. Nobody recognized him.
Right.
Everybody was freaking out. But as soon as he said my name, everybody knew who he was. And I got to talk to him and meet Denzel for the first time. Because when I worked with him on Mo Better, I didn't know him. I knew what at Bleak. That was Bleak that I got to know. So it was really cool to meet the real man. And I never knew at the time what was going to happen for him happened, but it sure did, and I'm so happy for him.
Yeah,
especially
he
when I
made out
realized he
okay.
was such a nice guy. Yeah.
What are you proud of you for? If you can step outside of yourself, why are you proud of you? Are you proud of you?
Yep. Number one, I'm a good mama. I raised my daughter. I could have had nannies raise her and stay and keep working. My career was starting to really take off when she came about, but I was like, nah, I'm not raising my daughter in LA. So I brought her back home, and we have a very good relationship. She's a wonderful young lady. She's in acting school right now, and she's beautiful, a beautiful person inside and out. And I know that I was a part of her growth. I don't take credit for who she is, but I know that I was a part of her growth. So that is something that I'm most proud of, being a good mother and hopefully continuing to be. I am proud of my work, more of my work now than ever, because I think I'm helping people, which has always been my goal. The acting and the singing, all of that was to build a platform so that maybe I could help some folks. And I think the PPC podcast and radio show are doing that. And my book did that. I know it helped a lot of people. And I'm thankful that I had a gift to do it. And I want to keep doing it.
So what kind of advice? I'm sorry, Twan, because it goes with what you said.
Go ahead, Nina. Go ahead.
The industry. Your daughter is going to acting school. Did you give her, what kind of advice did you give her to be able to navigate the industry? Your job is one thing, but the culture is something else. Did she get any good information?
I think so. I mean, I was definitely prepared for the creative side of things. I was prepared for act. I knew how to act. I had all those kind of skills. But when it came to life and people, I was not prepared at all. I mean, I came from Indiana. Nobody, if I had been in Chicago, maybe I would have been better prepared. But we moved to Indiana by the time I was in high school. So Sophia knows the possibilities, what to expect, the mistakes, hopefully, that she won't make, that I made. It was a very difficult time. I mean, that Me Too thing is real. And I had to deal with that, and she is going to have to deal with that. I know she is, because she's beautiful. And but she's meaner than I am. So she's meaner than I am. She's a little Leo, and she don't take much.
What's your sign?
Taurus.
Joe Storm's a Taurus as well.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's not a typical Taurus, though. He's like the nicest Taurus I've ever met in my life.
Until you try to change him from something. Most Taurus are. But when they get to the point where they know that's what they want to do, you might as well walk away, because they're going to do what they're going to do.
Very stubborn. Very stubborn. That is a true part of us. And some Tauruses aren't very nice, and some are real cool and down to earth. But yeah, I think I'm preparing her, but I know that she's gonna learn things on her own that I didn't prepare for. I every eventuality, I can't. I'm human, and I can't know what all she's gonna have to deal with. And the world has changed. But when it comes to stuff I went through, she's ready for it. You
She's
know,
ready for that.
she won't
So
make those turn up.
are you still, you were like nice and kind of green, kind of naive when you got into the industry. Now with your experience, your age, your wisdom, are you more confident? Are you as nice as you used to be? Or how would you
Yeah,
describe you?
no,
Are
I'm
you
pretty
better?
nice.
What did you
I'm
learn?
very nice, but I can't say no. I have no issue, but I said no all the time. I that's why I'm, some people know who I am and some people don't. I'm not on the Halle Berry level because I said no
Ah,
about about things. I just
mhm.
wasn't into certain things. I wasn't trying to do what many people thought what was required of a young woman. So I just was cool with that, you know. But
Mhm.
when it came to my skills, I was always confident. When it came to me and my worth and all of that, that's where I had to grow. I had self-worth, self-esteem issues. But I have definitely grown that way.
So when you do your podcast, who's your
Mhm.
audience? Who do you think you're talking to, or who are you talking to?
Us.
Who would be who are your listeners like?
Us.
What age
Well,
are they? Who are
I
they?
I make it so that if a young 12-year-old girl listened to a 95-year-old woman or man listened, that it would be something they all could consume. I keep it clean. Um, I talk about universal things. Um, I'm not trying to limit myself to one niche. I'm not trying to limit myself to one group. Um, I have a large fan base in the Black community, but I also have quite a large fan base in the white community, in the gay community. I did shoot at one point. I got stuck in the gay world for a while. I did 7 movies in a row playing a lesbian. Yeah, I did, and I literally had to start turning them down because I'm like, okay, y'all trying to stick me in
Right,
this place, and
right.
I don't want to
I
be
said I
stuck.
wasn't Clark, but I ain't say I was all that either. Right.
Exactly,
Y'all got out of
exactly.
one box to another box.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
It,
Gotcha.
it
I
it
feel like you get
happened.
really excited when you're talking about your broadcasting piece. There's going to be an opportunity to share your
Mhm.
social media stuff, but lock in that radio, the title, what day it comes on, and what
Do that
time
now.
it comes.
Yeah, do that now.
Okay.
Do
Yeah,
that now.
the station is www.thegrownfolksradio.com, and that grown has an E in it. Thegrownfolksradio.com is the radio channel. And my show, well, I'm on 2 shows on the channel. I'm on the Melanated Morning Show on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 10 to noon Eastern. And that is with DJ Kid Disco and I. We co-host. It's his show. I co-host with him, and it's a very general information. We hot topics, a lot of politics. We get kind of controversial, but we have a lot of fun. And then on Wednesday afternoons from 2 to 4 Eastern is the PPC radio show. And it's all, you can find it all on thegrownfolksradio.com, which includes DJ Joe Storm's musical track, his mix. But we're also on live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and several other streaming platforms that I can't remember. But yes, please join us. But the cool thing also is it's all archived, and you can see
Go back.
things after the fact. The
Somebody,
podcast, the podcast is a PPC podcast, and that is on multiple platforms: Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, Apple. I'm not on all of them, but I'm on about 12 different platforms.
But that's a lot.
Um, That's a lot. Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing out there, but that's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah, and I do that every week. It's short and sweet. When I first started doing the podcasting, I decided because I knew that the people that might listen would be people that look like us. I didn't want to overwhelm them with a whole bunch of talking. So the podcast is between 15 and 20 minutes long. I get to the point. Now I'm always interviewing someone. It used to be I did solos, but now it's always with one guest and has some kind of art in it, either a song, a poem, a reading, something. And it's getting better and better every time. I'm really excited about it.
I encourage my friends and family, followers, and fans of Mr. Antoine and the original Party to Girl to make sure you check it out. I like the whole self-help, self-expression piece that she has. You know, like people, if I'm listening to it, that tells people that are like me that they would like it too. It's very inspiring. And it's almost like meditation. Without the low vibe, it's very constant, very sure. You are, I am. Y'all know what I am means. See, so when I saw that, I was like, oh, she's talking the language. But yeah, great job, Cynda. Is it something that you haven't touched that you want to?
No, I just want to say I really appreciate the two of you. You definitely have a beautiful spirit. And I'm very happy to be here. And let me know when you want me to come back. I'll be glad to. And I hope we get to meet each other in the next month or so.
Oh yeah, we'll make it happen.
Hold up. Let me explain something. First of all, I don't like Nina.
First of all,
on my show. But the meeting of each other, yeah, if you like I'm genuinely dead serious. If you keep me posted and connected with me, and let me know when you're going to be in Philly. If you can make it down this way, fine. But if you can't, it's 90. Like I'm 5 minutes from 95 northbound, so I can get there. Like
I will definitely keep in touch. We're connected, so I can keep in touch and let you know. All right.
So for those that are interested, can you let everyone know how they can follow you on social media?
Sure thing. I'm not on everything, but you can follow me definitely on Instagram, Cynda Williams or Cynda Will. You can find me on Facebook, the official fan page of Cynda Williams, or I have 2 personal pages. I just don't have any more room for friends, but you can follow on Cynda Williams and Cynda Will. Only issue is there's other fake pages or fan pages, so just make sure it's me. Send me a little message and I'll let you know if it is. Twitter, I'm not big on Twitter, but I post to there.
And it seems like the people that would be big on Twitter are the ones that don't post. Like you're a writer, like everything about you is words. Twitter should be like really good for you.
It is whack, yo.
I just don't like the energy. It's negative. So I post to Instagram and share it to Twitter. So that's how I do it.
Last 5 times I got on Twitter, the first thing I saw was Donald Trump posts. So I was like, over.
I couldn't get away from them. I just kept getting them, and it's too negative. It's just too negative. So I like I said, I post on there, but it's not. I don't live on there. I don't do the 12 posts a day thing. They whatever I post to Instagram, they get. So.
Well, I seen a friend request on Facebook. I don't know if that was the real you or if it was somebody else. But the good thing is,
I'll look it up. I got like 1,500 requests. Yeah. So next time, I'll look.
Where's your personal assistant? Do you have one of those?
Not yet, but I'm getting to the point where
one, right?
I need one. I do.
Okay.
I work cheap. No, but the good thing is I have a way to connect with you, so that's not an issue. But
and please give Potty Girl my info. That's cool.
Please.
Well, she will.
She said I can have it.
At 3:30 in the morning when you just starting to doze off. That's when Nina's.
When the world was open, I might have made a mistake and butt dialed you because I'm coming out of a club. I'm not out at 3 o'clock anymore.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
definitely want to hang out with you. I
Yeah.
definitely want to hang out with you because even though I'm a homebody, I like to dance. So,
and see, that's what I love right there, and that's why we're gonna connect with her.
Gotcha.
You know me, I come in, I dance for like a half hour, 45 minutes, then I'm out. So
you're dancing over to the bar, Twan. That doesn't count.
I definitely want to just thank you for and shout out to DJ Joe Storm because he is the one that made this happen. But I truly appreciate you because I know that you're going through some things personally right now. And honestly, when you texted me earlier, I was like, let's just cancel the show. But I was going to leave that option up to you. So
it was good for me to, just have some fun. It's good to have some fun. So thank you for having me tonight. I really appreciate it.
I definitely appreciate you taking the time and God's will. Whatever that situation is going to be, just know that we're going to keep you in prayer, and we definitely appreciate you taking some time.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I'll be in touch.
Take care of yourself. Happy Love Day. You're loved.
I'm
going back to the podcast. You got a new fan. You got a new follower.
All right.
Send it down on Lexington Market eating crab cakes. Watch.
All right.
You want to say thank you?
I love you, baby.
Thanks for granting us access.
All right. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Hold on, Cynda. Hold on, Cynda. Before you leave, go ahead, Nina. I forget this every week. She has to do her formal. Go ahead, Nina.
Okay. All right.
On behalf of Mr. Antoine and Nina, the original party girl, and everyone here in the city of Baltimore, we thank you for granting us access.
Like it.
Love you, Cynda. Thank you. Oh, dang, she jumped right out. She was like,
she ain't playing with you. She not playing with you. She wanted me to be able to get with you. Now she gone.
No, she has things going on that's far bigger than anything that we have going on here. So I just appreciate her, taking some time to tune in with us. Great show, man.
She does a lot of things.
I could have talked.
Like when you Google her, they're not all in one space.
Right, exactly.
So this conversation brought it all together. Right. And like, I thought about her. Like Mo Better Blues was my first real. You got to watch it to the Antoine. It was all those pieces.
Stop. I'll go watch Mo Better Blues if you go watch Caught Up. I'll watch it tonight.
We could tonight. You must work from home.
Yeah, and I'm off tomorrow, so I don't work on Friday.
No, I ain't watching it tonight, bro. I got to be up in the morning. And don't be telling people I'm broadcasting from my house. You know the rules. This is not my house. I hid my house, okay? I'm in my mobile studio.
My bad. She's broadcasting from the Honeycomb Hideout Part 4.
Part 4. My mobile studio. Yes, that's what's happening. But I was really excited. And she has so much that I can go look for more. I can stay busy with her for a minute or two. Just going back. She's got 2 seasons of podcast.
But the one thing I'm going to say, it's going to go a lot of different ways, y'all. Just watch it. Yeah, I see the ears. I see the ears.
They not ears, they're balls.
They're ears. Ear balls. Ear balls. Go watch.
I'm listening.
Go watch Caught Up if you get a chance. That's a movie that's going to take you a lot of different ways.
Yeah, but what kind of movie is it? Is it a mystery or what is it? What kind of genre movie is it?
Drama. It's a drama.
Okay, so it's not scary. Gotcha.
No, I won't consider it scary. But it's a lot of it's a couple of things on there. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a couple of things that's gonna make you go, damn. I wasn't expecting that, but not like Friday the 13th, Jason, people jumping out of cornfields. No, it's not that kind of scary.
Okay, I don't like that.
So what's up for the weekend?
Snow.
Snow?
No. Snow. See, in my mind, I'm still in full party mode. So when I was doing that, if snow came, I had to start undoing it. Let's reschedule. Let's move. I got to start watching the weather. So snow watching became a part of the event. So in my mind, I still think I got to watch the snow when technically I don't. I could just chill somewhere and chill. But things are opening back up, and there's a lot of stuff opening up on the DL with some lounges and clubs that I had no idea that are open, and they're open.
We still got to take care of ourselves, though. We still got to.
I didn't say I was going.
No, I'm just saying, like you got certain celebrities that I won't mention, like Bow Wow, and 50 Cent just got in trouble over Super Bowl weekend because like we're literally hosting parties where we're having like 1,000 people with no mask on. So yes, the vaccine is out, and yes, we're, the numbers are dropping a little bit and we're getting better. But this is that time where people are going to say, okay, yeah, things are getting better. So now I can go and just party with 5,000 people.
Okay,
And
so now you got 5,000 people with a vaccine.
No. You got 5,000 people where 27 of them might have got the vaccine. And we're still, you understand what I'm saying? So as the city, the state, and the country is starting to creep back open just a little bit, still remember that we're in a pandemic, and it's not worth the money or what might happen on the flip side to pay $50 to go see Bow Wow perform live.
Okay. So on that note, here in Baltimore, Shelly's Helping Hands and DJ and Chef Vaughn are doing a community feed up. They're going to be out there feeding the homeless. I think it's February the 26th, but you can go to Shelly's Helping Hands Facebook page to get, or my page or Mr. Antoine's page to get a glimpse of the flyer, so you can decide if you want to donate some cash or some monthly. Huh?
Is it on your page now?
Yep, somewhere down in there. I post it's probably post 3 out of 59, so it's probably down there. But it's definitely to that. So if you want to be a part of how to help with that, you don't feel like coming out is too cold, or you don't feel comfortable, there's a way you can donate through Cash App as well, so that we can take care of our aunties and uncles, our city's homeless population. So yeah, he's trying to find the flyer for that now.
I'll go on your page and put it up.
All right, so it's also a situation.
Huh? Nina?
My name, Nina Dow. D as in Dora, O-W. That's where you would find that flyer. I also have the OPG microphone checker, which I really do need to shift all of this over, get that updated. Hey, y'all, shovel off your cars, okay? Shovel off your cars. Don't just make that little circle in your little windshield and pull off. Get the rest of the car. Now, it was really hard for me to get the top of the car today because I couldn't reach it. I really couldn't. I really couldn't. But at least I did attempt.
It would be hard for you to get the top of a model car. So
I got a funny story. It's going to take me 2 minutes. Went on the job interview yesterday. Yeah, I'm looking for a job. Somebody that needs me, hit me up. So I go on the job. I'm applying for administrative assistant. I had to be interviewed by 3 people. After the 3rd person, they're like, we're going to go get the owner. We need you to talk to the owner. The job was an administrative assistant at a car place where they sell cars. So the owner comes in and he's like, we can't hire you for this position because you're applying for the wrong position. And I'm like, well, I don't know what the options are. And he's like, you need to be a car sales associate. So they made me an offer before I left to sell cars.
Buying a car from you?
Yeah, I would buy a car from me. Many cars that you see me drive, you should buy a car from me. I know everything about
cars. Because that means the cars you got aren't reliable. I'm not buying a car from you.
That's not the cars I own. Some of those cars are other people's. Some cars sitting, some of them. But I just have access to a lot of cars. Don't hate. All of them work. So I said all of that to say, if you just start something, sometimes it may lead you to your miracle over there. You might see one opportunity, you think that's the focus, but something whole different happens. So be open, be positive, be willing to walk forward. Just do it. Do something. Start something. It'll lead you somewhere. Focus, Twan.
I am. I'm sharing this Shelly Helping Hands thing on my page.
Okay. I was all like I was on the news telling the weather, let it right into you, and it was you.
Nobody want to hear that.
What? The focus? To be nice?
Go buy a car from Nina.
You got one more pass with your little red shirt on right there. After, a couple. That's it. Then I'm gonna wear something wildcatish every show. So
I don't care. I know. I have the power to keep you off the screen, so you can wear whatever you want to wear. No,
I have the power. Look, if I do this and click my heels at the same time, I'll end up in your mobile studio.
Wow, that's
Kick me off.
But look, so I'm giving Nina the night off this coming Monday because she feels like we just shouldn't do Mondays. But I have a real dope hip hop panel discussion coming up on this Monday with my man Reggie Ruckus, my man Last Born Child, and my boy Russell Brereton. And we're looking for a woman to get on. We can't have Nina because Nina don't know nothing about hip hop. So we can't have Nina on. But I'm gonna find a woman, a young lady, to put on this panel hopefully by Monday, and we'll get it on. But I do have a couple of shows. Actually, we'll be back next Wednesday, Nina, with access granted, and we're gonna have my man Hakeem, who's one half of the group Channel Live. I'm gonna need you to go do your research. Your husband / fiance / boyfriend / whatever he was last week is a DJ, so he can know you're not getting. So he can tell you a little bit about this Channel Live group, and like this is a real dope member of the hip hop community from New York, and we're gonna have him on and we're gonna talk about all of his stuff. So looking forward to that. We have a discussion coming up, Nina. I'm letting you know now, in the first week of March, we're going to be talking about interracial relationships. And it's going to be a mental health plug to it. So get your questions ready because that conversation is going to shoot like that.
I know more about that than I do hip hop.
Exactly. Which is why I don't want you here Monday. Exactly. You nailed it with that. But no. But we're gonna keep hitting y'all with the entertainment stuff, but every now and then we're gonna hit y'all with the Nina, stop playing. We're gonna hit y'all with the important stuff. And this is actually an ex-coworker of mine. I don't think she's really a white woman. I think she's a white, black, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Chinese woman, but she's married to a black man, and she hit me up with an idea because she thought that I was still at the radio station, and she made a lot of great points. So it's going to be very interesting to put this show out there live to see the kind of reactions that we get. Yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting. Trust me.
No, I wasn't saying that for that. I was saying these things looking like a filter.
Looking like, yeah, it does look like a filter.
I was like, is that my head? No. I heard you. And you don't have those conversations often. So I look forward to being a part of that.
This is what she hit me with. She was like, go into Walmart and see if you see a greeting card as we're coming up on Valentine's Day for a multiracial couple.
Do you?
No, not at all. Not at all. So I'm not even sure exactly where she wants to go. I'm gonna have to meet with her before we go on air, but I'm definitely looking forward to having that conversation. So yeah, in the midst of all of this good stuff that we bring you like tonight, we also gonna feed the, you know what I mean? We're gonna feed that a little bit. But yeah, tune in on Monday. We're gonna have the Access Granted Hip Hop Roundtable. Myself, Last Born Child, Reggie Ruckus, and my boy Russell Brereton from out of North Carolina. It's gonna be a real dope show. Nina, I love you. Don't go get snowed in. If it snows tonight, get out there with a shovel. Take your ass to work because you need the money, as I do. because I need my 20-40% that I get from you.
Shut your mouth.
Putting it all
Telling
there.
people I need the money. Are you crazy?
Because I need my cut.
I tried to be called in today. I wasn't going to work. So I looked outside and there wasn't no snow. This is at like 12 o'clock. I'm looking outside.
Exactly.
I'm supposed to be to work at 9. I called them at 12. I'm like, I'll be in there.
I went out there to clean my wife's car, and I was like, "This all it is, girl. Go clean your own car." I'm going
Right.
No, but definitely appreciate everybody. Show us some love. Big Luke, I'm gonna connect you the way that you need to be connected. Nina, I'm gonna send you that number tonight before I forget. We appreciate everybody. I will see you guys Monday night, and we will see you guys next Wednesday. Access Granny, we love y'all. We out. Peace.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Wait with that.
Grinch.
Yes, exactly.